southern separatists in Yemen have agreed to a ceasefire, which had been suggested by the Saudi-led coalition, that ceasefire in the southern area. Dozens of Russian opposition supporters have been detained at a rally which brought tens of thousands of people onto the streets of Moscow. Police and National Guards in riot gear seized people who gathered near the presidential offices. The protests began over the refusal of the authorities to let opposition candidates run in local elections. From Moscow, our correspondent Sarah Rainsford.
This latest protest began peacefully, with rap as well as speeches and slogans. Despite driving rain, the square was soon full, the biggest crowd in years, packed right to the edges. This was the part authorised for once by city officials.
Rainsford in Moscow. The link between obesity and developing cancer is well known. The research suggests the risk has been underestimated. It's likely to be twice as high than previously. Linda Ball is a professor of public health at the University of Edinburgh.
It's really related to the fat in our bodies. So fat is obviously one of the things that the body is made up of, but it's not inactive. So fat cells tell other cells what to do in a simple way, and we know that extra levels of things like estrogen, insulin, and also inflammatory chemicals that are in the body that are produced by excess fat means that cells get the wrong messages and they can multiply and duplicate themselves at a faster rate. And when you have faster rates of cell production and particularly division, that's when cancer can occur. In other words, more cells multiplying more rapidly, there's more risk of things going wrong, and it can change DNA, and we can have mistakes that are made in the cells, and that's what causes cancer. We need to really take this seriously. We need to do the same thing for overweight obesity, supporting individuals to try and achieve a healthy weight. And that's not just the case for adults, of course. If we can prevent this in childhood, we've got a much better chance of preventing cancers later in life.
Let's get more of today's world news now. Here's Debbie.
A fuel tanker explosion has killed at least 60 people in Tanzania and has injured many others. It happened near the city of Maribora, some 200 kilometers west of Dar es Salaam. Masajima reports. There was flaming wreckage scattered in the area, and charred bodies lying on the ground. Survivors were rushed to the nearby hospitals, some with severe injuries. Morogoro town is on a major route for transporting cargo and fuel from the port in Dar es Salaam, which is the country's commercial capital. Majority of the victims were motorcyclists who rushed to the scene to collect the oil gushing onto the road and those hawking goods by the roadside. An eyewitness says the explosion happened as one person was trying to remove the tanker's battery. This is the Catholic Archbishop of Melbourne in the 1990s. An activist in Bahrain who was imprisoned for 3 years after criticizing the formula numbers in the country has been freed. Nadia Yusuf, the former civil servant, was pardoned ahead of the Islamic holiday Eid al-Adha, which takes place on Sunday. She's the first person to be released in Bahrain since 2011. And here in Britain, the southern port of Dover is operating one ship in, one ship out policy because of high winds, leading to long delays on channel crossings. Train passengers are also suffering severe disruption after trees fell across several lines and flooding caused the temporary closure of the western coast of India.
Next, Debbie, Indian-administered Kashmir is still in lockdown since its special constitutional status was revoked. We talked a lot on the programme this week about queues at cash machines and at food shops as the authorities have eased the curfew a little to let this Malayan region prepare for the Muslim festival of Eid. While still troops in the streets, though, the communication system is still blacked out. Peter Pandy has been travelling around the region and describes the bitter sense of betrayal that she fears will lead to fresh conflict there.
In the heart of Srinagar city, Scania is an area notorious for anti-India protests. I've gone through half a dozen roadblocks to get here. And as I come across yet another barricade, I get down from my car to take photographs when a few residents come out to complain about being locked down. This is extreme thuggery on the government's part, an old man says. The paramilitary police try to hustle us away, but the old man is visibly angry. You lock us up during the day. You lock us up at night, he shouts, wagging his finger. The policeman says there's a curfew in place and that they must go inside their homes. At that point, I'm wanted to leave too. But before I do, a young man carrying his toddler son in his arms tells me he's ready to pick up a gun to fight India. This is my only son. He's too small now. but I will prepare him to pick up a gun too. He's so angry that he doesn't even care that he's saying all this within earshot of the policeman standing near us. I've been visiting the region regularly for over 20 years now to report on the long-running insurgency against Indian rule. But the sort of anger and resentment that's being expressed now is unprecedented. Most people here say they will settle for nothing less than the government restoring Kashmir's special status. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government is not known for rollbacks. And this has given rise to fears in the valley that the authorities will come down heavily on those who resist. Muskan Latif, a high school student, describes the current situation as a calm before the storm. It's like the oceans are quiet, she said, but the tsunami is about to hit the shore.
Pandi in Indian Kashmir. Our main news: the disgraced American financier Jeffrey Epstein has been found dead in his prison cell after an apparent suicide while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. More online at bbc.com/news. From me, Andrew Peach. Thanks for listening.
World Sport from the BBC with me, Alistair Ross. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling get their Premier League seasons off to a flying start as Spurs and Manchester City start their campaigns with wins. Paris Saint-Germain dropped the strongest hit yet. They're about to sell Neymar, and Canada gets its first home Rogers Cup tennis prize since 15 years. We started the Premier with 2 late strikes from Harry Kane. Helped Tottenham come from behind to beat newly promoted Aston Villa 3-1. Villa proving a real test for the Champions League runners-up. John McGinn produced the beautifully composed finish of the Tyrone Mings long ball, knocked out the Spurs defence to give Villa the shock early lead after just 9 minutes. But after the break, Spurs' new club record signing Tanguy Ndombele equalised from outside the penalty area. Kane then scored twice in the last 4 minutes to secure.
It's tough. Villa obviously got the noses in front of them and made it difficult for us, but I thought we come out really strong second half, more energy, pressed higher up the pitch and created more chances, and thankfully a couple of drops made in there and I was able to put them away.
As for Villa, Austin Smith believed there were lots of positives to take from his side's first showing after promotion.
Certainly, the performance of the first half and our defensive organisation, which probably isn't what we're known for. I thought that was very good, and they're not the Champions League finalists for nothing, and they've got a very good set of players who are very well coached, and it's going to be tough for a lot of teams coming here. But we gave a good account of ourselves, but ultimately we go away with nothing.
Meanwhile, defending champions Manchester City got their campaign for a third consecutive league title off to the best possible start with a comfortable win over West Ham. Raheem Sterling scoring a hat-trick in a 5-0 victory.
You always want to be there to try and help your team, and today we started off good, but then also sloppy at times, and that's the only thing we expect. It's a new season, we're still a bit rough, but once we got into our rhythm, I thought we were brilliant at times today.
Well, despite the convincing scoreline, manager Pep Guardiola thought the champions could play better.